outside is simply no longer survivable.
Could people have survived?
We need to know what's out there. We need to know who's left.
I'm coming, baby.
There is a lot that you don't know.
Can I tell you a secret? Something no one else knows. It's never just about the bunker.
What is up, people? What is going on? And she says it at the end of that clip. It's not just about the bunker, meaning there is something else in that bunker, and we kind of find out a little bit of details at the end of this episode. But, oh, we got to talk. We got a lot to talk about. Daryl said, link is the link. Yeah, 100%. We're going to talk about that. Brian, first off, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Man, you can find me here. Honestly, guys, come on. I'm here. I'm actually on Nzo more. I'm on my own damn channel. It's crazy. I don't know about this anymore.
I'm right there with you.
Thursday and Saturday, I'm with you. I was like, fuck it. But we got Sports Kings on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturday night too. And then the Rewind with Nzo Saturday morning. This is C2E2 time. So we're going to do it a little bit earlier because I got to do a lot. And I got something planned for Nzo. Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see what that is. Tamika, thank you for popping in. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Tamika's Den on YouTube. I am here on Tuesdays, joining the call about Paradise. I appreciate y'all for having me, and usually live on Wednesdays. Right now, I'm kind of taking a break, but April is going to be busy. Probably Thursdays and Fridays. We got From coming and
Yes.
Testament, Euphoria, The Boys. A lot going down, so.
Yes. You see, you said the right show first. That's exactly right. That's what we're waiting for. I don't care about anything else. Like, anything else is good filler, but when From comes on, I'm ready for that. Said, so it looks like Alex sends back message in time to change stuff. So now that's what we're going to get into because, and Chris will be here later. Danny won't be able to make it. We all know why Danny can't make it, right? Because Danny was already talking, oh, it's time travel stuff. And I'm like, not necessarily.
It's a lot. It's like time travel, but it's not really. I don't think any person is going back in time.
Right.
They're able to change the past, which affects the future.
But now here's the thing that a lot of people are saying too, right? And I don't buy it either, but it's an additional timeline. And I'm like,
you're not going to say I don't disagree. That I might agree with a little bit. Not just additional timeline, but merging timelines.
Timelines, right? Because
when timeline merges, the nose bleeds.
I don't know why mine's is not live. I don't know what happened.
I'll just add it back. It should be there, yeah, because I noticed that yours wasn't there either. From is my favorite show ongoing. Yeah, mine too, 100%. Right. So now we get the timeline stuff, and I'm like, okay, Dylan supposedly died. Now, the one thing we know about one of these shows or these shows is if you don't see a body, the person ain't really dead. We never really saw a body. So
even when you see a body, sometimes the person isn't dead.
Facts. 100%. Facts. So I don't know, man. We're going to definitely talk about that. I think it's something we can definitely talk about. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just say this. So we just have this as a basis, so all of us know this is where we're coming from. So Alex, I know it's a central mystery and all this stuff. You know, could it be a code name? Remember, Alex is Dr. Henry Miller's wife's name. So when when they go running in there and trying to kill them, and he says, "Hold on," and he says, "Goodbye, baby." And he puts that poison in her and kills her off. We don't know if she's actually there. She might be brain dead. He might take the consciousness of his wife and put it into the computer. Just saying, because her name is Alex, right? Just her name was Alex. That's Alex. So I just want to make sure we have that even going. All totally understood. Alex and Alex could be his wife. Now Alex could also be AI, right? It could be he is, what he's done. He kind of deals with time travel, and in doing that, he could have created this AI that kind of does time travel in itself. And Link was the person that worked under him. Well, maybe that never happened really in the original timeline. But when Sinatra went back to ask Alex to do this, that created Link being the person who didn't die. And Link being the one who can save the world makes a lot of sense with him being who Sinatra, if it's Dylan. Just saying, all this comes down to Alex and who Alex is.
100%. Chris Knight is in the house. What up, Chris Knight?
What's going on? How you doing?
Tell the people where they can find you.
Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, those two places primarily, sometimes over on other people's channels and stuff like that. And when I can be here. But, so.
Absolutely. Were you able to add your channel, Tamika?
No, I don't even know how to do it. I'm sitting here pressing on stuff, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
I know it was there before.
Yes,
I just
move StreamYard. Don't be blaming anything else. We know what it is.
Listen, man. You can do what you gotta do. All right. I'm a little cheapy right here, so I'm gonna do what I did. We didn't see his body, but he definitely died. Okay, so you think he definitely died? Well, we definitely gonna get into that. It's going to be very interesting to get into these topics a little bit here. First off, we'll start off with our overall thoughts. Chris, what are your overall thoughts of this episode?
It's definitely interesting where they're going with it. I heard a little bit of what Brian was saying there at the end about the time travel possibility. Again, everybody's kind of going down that line. Time travel, alternate reality, changing things, something like that. It seems like it. It seems like only certain people, though,
Agreed.
Might be involved in what it does. We'll get on with that later on. But overall thoughts, again, this has been a strong series. I think the twists and turns it's been taking this season have been done pretty damn well compared to other series that I've watched. And, so I was really happy with this episode with a few things. We'll get to those here in a little bit. But I really liked the way they did this.
Absolutely, 100%. Tamika, overall thoughts on this episode?
It was good, but I definitely had some mixed. I had some mixed feelings. I definitely did some things that I was not too happy about. Well, one in particular that I wasn't happy about.
Does that have to do with Gary? Because I think Gary was trash.
It definitely had to do with Gary.
A man got to listen to his wife. I'm just gonna let you guys know,
And I knew that's what Terry was gonna do.
It don't matter what she says. Like, at not being together for 3 years, it's all your fault somehow. You gotta listen to her. It don't matter what she says.
Nah, we going in there together, bro. You ain't going in there by yourself. What are we doing here? No. Like, I want to go in. No, you're not going in there by yourself. We'll go in there and we'll talk to him together. I am not leaving you after getting you back. No, I'm not doing that. But what are your overall thoughts, Brian?
I think it was a phenomenal episode. I thought this might be the best episode of the season. It might be the second best episode I've seen season 1 and 2 combined. This might be the second best one, period. I think it explained a lot. I think the whole idea, Alex, I think that is a quantum supercomputer that's sentient. That's what AI, whatever. I think it's a quantum supercomputer that's sentient, that can go back in time, that has that ability to do things and fix a few things That's why I said that sitting back messages. We saw that already with Jane. I think that's what it is more than anything. So I think the more we're gonna get information about it, it kind of makes more sense that way. That's why Sinatra's over there talking to Alex. That's gonna be a sentient quantum computer. That she's gonna put all her cards down, trying to change what actually happened, and then the loop goes on. Does it actually go forward or backwards? It's gonna be up to Link. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal.
So let me ask you guys this, right? Why did Sinatra's nose start bleeding when she met up with Link?
Two different timelines.
I think
Okay.
so.
Go
Link's
ahead.
got the problem. Xavier, maybe not the bleeding from the nose, but he has anybody that's getting these flashy back flashes and these moments of losing consciousness. This explains in the airplane why he lost consciousness. And it's like there's a certain like so outside of this bubble. I think there's a bubble it protects, or that this alternate dimension, time travel, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a bubble. So when he got through that bubble, and they talked about that something that was blocking. There's something in between there and here early on.
City. Kansas City, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's
No,
always
Arkansas.
Kansas City they
Arkansas.
want to blame.
It was Arkansas
Yeah,
this time.
but it's
Arkansas,
after Arkansas they say that, and so I think once he gets past that, that's when it hit him, and that was his first experience, and that's why he's now having these weird turn back time things. That's why you see Link with him at one point during this episode. So he's now experiencing it. So maybe at the end of the season or some point here, we're going to start seeing him bleed from the nose. Anybody that's bleeding from the nose, I think Annie is a part of it because going back, she had symptoms of that too. Now, we don't know if she's really dead or not.
She touched Link.
Yep, exactly. So I think only certain people are involved in this. Now, whether or not, and I kind of like Brian's idea of an AI, a sentient AI that controls it in a certain manner, where it's almost like maybe she's got the screen of all these players, and she can say, "I want to change it for this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person," and try again. Like everybody else goes along with something, except for these 10 people didn't go along with her plan. So now she wants to change their 10 memories and try again. I don't know. I mean, something like that. But that's why I think she's got these bleeding noises. And she knows, and I have a feeling maybe there's something more going on with her that she doesn't care because she's already done. Like she's dying or something that we don't know. I don't know. But that's anybody that's been affected or been touched by that, I think is why they all have that problem.
Okay.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Tamika, what do you think?
I don't know. I definitely agree. I was kind of feeling for a while now that Alex was more than likely some type of computer system AI that he, named after his wife. I was leaning more towards that way than people actually going through time travel. And I love time travel movies. I do, but I just didn't see us being in time travel territory with Paradise, so that definitely threw me for a loop. I was like, oh, we really, like, the more episodes that kept going, I was like, we really are going here, huh? But I think
Facts.
it's more along more along those lines um, than the actual time traveling thing. But I guess we'll see. And just of course us hearing her say that over and over and over in the trailer that is bigger than just the bunker. So she of course got plans on plans on plans. Um, and it made sense in terms of thinking about how much she has been, like, the whole thing that kind of pushed her in this direction. Well, not the whole thing, but a big part has been her losing her son. So it was like, for me, I felt like she would probably want to go with something that's to that degree because it could possibly mean her being able to change something with the son. Like, that would be her motivation. So it
Mm-hmm.
was making sense to me from that aspect, but I was just like still waiting to see how they're gonna play everything out before I judge it, because I was like, I really don't want to see that. I know when we first talked about it, that's what I was saying, but I was like, I kind of got faith in the way that they do they do their storytelling. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to try to give them a chance to see the way they was gonna break it down before I really jump to any kind of conclusions.
Unfortunately, we got to come to some sort of conclusion that might not, because Danny's like, "Oh, worst YouTuber is correct, was correct." Boom. No, you weren't, Danny. You're not 100% correct
It's not
yet.
time
All
travel.
right.
I don't
No,
think
no,
it's
no,
time
no.
travel.
Me neither. It's like, I think what you said. It's like the algorithm. It's able to go back and send messages back in time, but to actually
Messages,
send
yeah.
somebody back in time, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there
I
yet.
and
Hmm.
I'm with you on that type of thing. I don't necessarily want that to be the case. I want it to be more something that it alters your memory, it
Yeah.
changes um, past outcomes, perhaps, but not you
You
going
can
back. It's like,
you can pick a certain outcome, one thing that you could change. It'll
yeah,
change this one thing that will do all this other stuff.
yeah, and maybe maybe
Hmm.
the algorithm tells it, if you do this, this is what's going to happen, and there's a theory about a couple other things I'll get to later on when we talk about that. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily think it's time travel. I think it's more something more. I don't know. I think it's something a little more savvy, because I think if they go time travel with this, it really doesn't fit
Hmm.
the whole
For
idea.
real.
Yeah.
And that's what
Again,
I
they
was
might. They
saying.
might.
100%. But that's what I was saying though. It's like this show was so grounded in reality, and now all of a sudden we have to start questioning the
Yeah.
things that they're talking about. Right now,
Mhm.
if it's quantum physics stuff where it's something sending back in time, it's feasible. We don't have anything like that yet, but at least it's something that you could say, okay, maybe they'll be able to figure that out in the future, right? But actual time travel, I just don't see that. But Daryl said it's Dylan, but from a different timeline. Like you said, different timelines have merged.
Merging, and every time one
What's up,
touches,
T?
nosebleeds. Every time
Mm,
one of these two
Hmm.
timelines touch, everyone's nosebleeds, and there's some type of thing because you got to remember Link and Xavier had some type of interaction before, and they had those visions of it. So if
yeah,
these other timelines are kind of merging because possible things could have happened, that could explain a lot of these things. So it's all of these different branches, whatever, and they're trimming them down to get into what actually could happen. But then she can reattach one timeline, and it ends up merging to the main timeline. So in one timeline, Dylan, he dies off,
survives.
he survives, but he's
Yeah,
now orphaned, doesn't remember his parents, and all of a sudden, he lives his life and it merges back in. She gets to meet Dylan. She gets to make those choices, but I think it's escalating. So when we had it
hmm,
at first, they just sent a message about Jade. They knew
yeah.
killer, just this note, whatever, and then they're able to change one branch, and it possibly can change the extinction level event overall because it's just escalating as it's going along. She's asking questions, and AI is learning and is doing different things with it.
And I'm glad you said that too, right? Because, and if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but the way Dylan died wasn't like it was something where she could go back in time and say, "Oh, it was like a health thing that couldn't be stopped no matter what she did," right? So
Exactly.
if that's the case, then Dylan actually died, and it's someone from a different timeline. I guess because it was like a brain aneurysm or something like that,
Yep.
right? That he died from.
There's something that was going. He had a genetic disorder, so that
Right.
wasn't going to change just because you went back in time. But if you have different branches of the
Exactly.
branch, then he didn't
Yeah.
have that. Then all of a sudden it works.
Yeah. Exactly. The guy who created Alex talked about having lots of trips with his wife, so seems like he knew his wife was gonna die, so that they spent extra time with her. Maybe I got that. So watch it, Chris. You sound like you throwing some shade. I don't think so, Daddy. I'm the one throwing the shade, not Chris. I'm the one doing that.
I
Um,
definitely feel like that doctor was fully aware. The way that he spoke with
yes,
Billy when Billy came, and he kept kind of questioning him on what his beliefs was, and it was like if he knew what was going to happen, he was basically prepared and ready, and pretty much
yes,
telling him, me and my wife already lived our life and did what we needed to do. He knew Link was about to come. He was saying, when he comes, just go, let him live. And he
yes.
handed him the handkerchief before the nosebleed even happened. So he definitely already pretty much knew, like, okay, this is what's about to happen. Y'all about to take this, even though I don't want y'all to have it. And he knew fully how it worked, and of course, and what was gonna happen. Billy was the one that was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But he just went
Yeah.
ahead and did what he needed to do.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It seems like the doctor knew a lot more than like we found out, right? Because he wanted to make sure that Link survived. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah,
kill him because he's going to save the world.
and
So
he
he knew
knows
a
because
lot more.
I think he worked with Sinatra, and this was a plan they've been working on. He never, Sinatra stole his technology and killed him off, but she never figured out that he actually succeeded in bringing back
Yeah.
her son. Never figured it out.
Maybe
Facts. That
something
makes
like that.
sense.
Or
What
he ran
upsets?
away without telling her. He didn't tell her and did it on purpose. So she killed him for not saying anything. Like, I gave you all this money for a scam. That's why she killed him off, not realizing everything he actually did succeeded.
Because she ends up telling her husband it worked, right? So we'll get into that in a little bit. So what worked? That's the question.
Yeah.
What upsets me most about the show is fine ass Dr. Gabriel is the worst character on the show. Hey, she got her upcoming, so she did what she had to do. She wasn't that
I
dumb.
liked that scene a lot. I thought that was a very carefully crafted. I mean, we all knew she wasn't in the shower, but the fact that she got the one up on Jane
Jane. Yeah.
was now. Here's the thing: playing into this whole thing getting rewritten or changed. Does she show back again? If they do some sort of algorithmic reset, merging of timelines, or a mixture of all three of these ideas, time travel, the algorithmic thing, and merging timelines, they do something like that, then President could come back.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Cal's gonna come back.
Everybody,
Cal's
everybody
gonna
could
do
be, and now here's the real funny thing, and now going this direction, I'll just throw this one out for you guys. I don't know yet if they're going to do season 3. I haven't looked and see if it's
They are.
the first season. It is okay.
Yeah,
Cool. All right. So here's how I figure this is going to end. Hulu's pretty good about saying 3-4 seasons with popular
3.
shows.
This show's
Okay,
having
so-
3
yeah.
seasons, so
Only
next
three.
season's the
That's what I was
last
gonna
one.
say. Yeah. So here's how I think it's going to end. You know how it's going to end? It's going to end in a full reset where it's going to be the first episode again. He's going to wake up because remember, in the first episode, he couldn't remember what was going on. He got up and he goes and he finds out that the president's killed, and he's kind of groggy about the whole what happened, what this did, and he's remembering
That's
stuff as he
interesting.
goes forward. I think they're just going to do a full algorithmic reset, and you might find out, crazy idea here, and they've done things like this in movies and stuff, that it's all an AI simulation preparing for the end of the world, and it's somebody, maybe Sinatra, at her computer desk just re-looking at all the things that could change and things she had to do.
So you think it's a Family Guy episode? It's a Family Guy episode.
No.
Where Stewie kills Lois,
No.
and then they're like, "Oh, just a
Not
simulation."
No, but I do think if Sinatra's a real character, if these are real people and real characters, that if they had the technology to do the bunker, that maybe what they do is either a reset back to Xavier if it's not going to involve a simulation, but it's a reset back to Xavier, and it's just we find out it's some sort of time loop that everybody's stuck in. It not to bring it up, but similar-ish to something like Lost.
Or from.
Maybe, but if they do that, that's interesting. But they could go back to where it's just Sinatra and the volcanic explosion hadn't happened yet, and they know it's going to happen. More people are trying to prepare for it. She has this plan in place, and all she's trying to do is crunch the numbers to get it to work out in her favor.
Here's the issue. We're going to get back to episode 8. It's going to open up, and we're going to realize the bunker's going to blow up. So the only choice they have is Sinatra being down with Alex, trying to change something. So that's why I think the bunker is going to blow up. They're going to find out everything. And people are asking, well, how did Sinatra get down there if all the power went out? Well, because the power had a separate whole different grid for Alex.
Yeah.
So it was a totally different thing. So she could go right to Alex and have no problem with everything else going on. But that's going to blow up. We know what they have down there. They talked about it. The nuclear fusion of the stuff is going to react. So unless she figures out a way to loop it back up around, that thing's gone. And it's not going to be gone. So it's going to be some type of time loop, period.
Ugh, that's
something
a
like
good
that.
one.
Yeah.
I like that.
But
What if they are
Well,
variants?
well,
That's
here's the
why.
thing. She was
Go ahead.
she was absolutely certain when the president's like, "Hey, it's just a matter of time. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to fail. All your redundancies are going to crash." And she probably thought, "I know that, but I've got a plan for that." Now, again, that's why I lead to a possible simulation of events
That's
because
interesting.
that's the worst
then
answer I ever heard.
it,
If they do that,
I
then
hope not. Yeah, yeah, I hope not.
I thought
I
about the
understand that.
simulation.
I understand what you're saying, Chris. Though
but I think it's either going to end up like that, or if she's able to time loop, maybe just go back and reset it back to Xavier. I mean, that'd be an interesting go, but I don't know. I'm just throwing out things there. So, yeah.
No.
can I ask you a
Listen.
question before we get on
What
T's?
if they're
We need to get on Terrence
It-
thing.
Yeah.
If they wake up and it's a loop, and Xavier's there in the bunker, but Terry's there, does any of this shit happen?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because
Xavier
Terry's
is
not supposed to be there, right? Yeah.
as soon as Xavier has Terry, he's going to be content with being in the damn bunker. Then all the doors don't open, all this stuff doesn't happen. If Xavier's on the other side with Link on that side outside, Xavier's going to kill him. He's going to kill all of them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a military man. He's going to be able to go and take care of each one of them. So if Xavier never leaves the bunker, never opens up the bunker, does anything ever happen with him?
That's a good question. You see, that's the thing. Like, if Chris is right, where it's like a loop and it resets, then it would have to reset with Terry not being there at all, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Unless she loops it back on purpose with Terry there, like changes something again.
That way,
you
I
have to
don't
be
have to
very
worry about
careful.
Yeah,
Because she knows. Because then, if
yeah.
she's in control of this, she knows that the only way to get whatever she wants, which again, we're still not totally certain what she wants. She wants something more. This Alex, I think, is just a tool to help her continue to try to get somewhere. Because we've heard clues. One, that no matter what you do, the bunker idea. Somebody had said it's not the problem with the bunker. It's the fact that at some point, even the bunker will be in danger from the changes on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They've already said this. So, so she probably knows that too. So the bunker
100.
is either not the end game. It's just a means to an end right now. Maybe Alex is the end game, but I don't think if there's a season 3, Alex is the end game. Alex is just another piece of the puzzle of what Sinatra goes. And we might be giving Sinatra way too much credit for being one of the main, if not second to main character in this. But we know at the end of all of this, whatever they end up doing, it's going to come down to Xavier and Sinatra.
100%. What if they are variants and that's why their noses are bleeding because they died in another timeline?
Ooh. I like it.
It makes sense. Maybe their nose bleeds because she and Link touched. Exactly. Alex is
Xavier
Sinatra.
did, but Xavier didn't touch Link. I mean, his
No.
nose bleed.
No. But that could be. So what if Xavier was the experiment? Right? What if he was the one that was commissioned to try it to see if it works or whatever they're doing, and then now it's like, oh, it worked. No, she wouldn't know that because
Yeah, she
when
will
Link,
know.
yeah, because when Link happened with Link, she said it worked. So yeah. Could be that, Chris? Wow, surprised y'all agree. I'm shocked. Really? If it's not time travel, how do they stop impending L?
Extinction level event.
Extinction level event.
Level
Yeah.
event.
So that's kind of where I'm going. I think again, it's her. She knows that what she's doing is a stopgap for the people in there. I think also this plays into first season where we find out that a lot of these people are down there for specific reasons and they were handpicked. Again, we know that if anything like this in real life were to happen, all movies like Deep Impact and stuff show there's a lottery. scientists, there's certain upper class, and I don't mean upper class like money, smarter people, people with degrees, people with the ability to solve problems would be taken into a bunker or something like that to preserve anything that could help life continue. So she has done this. Because we know she's in charge from the get-go, because you see in this the way she talks to the president. Hey, he knows she's in charge. The other president she had killed didn't realize how much in charge she was. But she knows that this ELE is still coming, and that's what it comes down to. She's trying to figure out how to continue past that. And I think that Alex is a part of that plan. Because she has said multiple times she has a plan, and she keeps saying, I'm doing something to ensure we all survive.
So
how was this episode? I'm sorry. Episode
go ahead.
8 is called Exodus, and Exodus to me tells me they all have to get out of the bunker. So that's why I'm kind of hitting on that one. So if it's Exodus, it said worlds collide, time of the is up essence for Xavier, linking his team, springing into action. Sinatra puts it all on the line. I think everyone else is running out of the bunker except for Sinatra. Everything, Xavier's going looking for his kids. I got my wife, I got these new kids. Whose white baby is that? That's mine. That's he already has that, right? He's going to go find his kids and get them out, right?
And then, one of his kids is stuck in an elevator right now.
Yeah,
exactly. So he's going to go through it, and he's running out of time because he knows it's imminent disaster. That's what Xavier's going to be doing. And Link is going to be helping all these people that are coming out towards him. Somehow he's going to be trying to figure out helping them. Even trying to stop the stuff from blowing up, the bunker from blowing up. He might be even doing that. They might need him to do that because he's the only one who knows anything about the technology. While Sinatra on her timeline is still dealing with Alex. On her point,
absolutely,
because each one of those three have to work out for everything to be good. I don't know how this is going to work, but I think it's an exodus out of the bunker at the end of the day.
We know that the last episode is going to end.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they absolutely need Link's help now. Like it's stuck where we ended off this episode with them trying to do this shutdown so they can keep him out. But what they really gonna need is for him to come in and help them because of how everything is shut down and the oxygen and everything. And remember that when him and Xavier is getting these flashes, whether it's back, forward, or whatever, it's them walking through that same tunnel that I'm assuming is the same tunnel that Sinatra's walking through. So some point in time, they gotta walk through there to try to,
save the world. That's what Link is. He's
the one.
and
they definitely gotta get his daughter and what's her name daughter, Sinatra's daughter, out of that elevator. So we gotta put to the side.
Actually, no, Tamika, they can die in that elevator. That annoyed the hell out of me, them kids. They can die in that elevator.
Another thing that annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, 100%. He said, "How is a show about a super volcano in a bunker that looks like normal world grounded in reality? Because a super volcano is something that could actually happen, right?
It exists.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, the Yellowstone. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't use Yellowstone for that. But
now the bunker that looked like normal life, okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, right? But they have bunkers. Trust me. You know what I mean?
Post-apocalyptic books and series have used the bunker theory. There's City of Ember. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read that or anything. They had a horrible movie of it. I like this idea better because, again, we don't know exactly where we're at in this time. It's like 2037, 2040, something like that. I think it's supposed to be kind of around there. We don't know, though, how far they're really trying to push. Example, think of this way. Everybody knows the Las Vegas sphere, right? Mm-hmm. That is huge. There's tons of video board squares about this big make that whole thing. So it can be curved and everything. So they could theoretically provide a false sky. Now then you have to add in like a simulant sun and other things like that. But they even talk about that we don't have exact replicas, because she even says to the first kid in this episode, she said, or was it this episode? No, it was. I'm sorry, I'm thinking back to this fourth episode when the first kid got born. But she says, one of these days you're going to actually feel real sun.
Yeah.
And so they've already kind of explained that while it looks like it, and even Xavier in one it says it, after a while you see the cracks, you see the seams. So it's probably a giant LED sky or a LED board sky. So I mean, technically, we could do this today. It doesn't mean that we could because of how big the place is, but so it is grounded in reality. Things that could possibly be done, we just never have tried because, well, the money alone is the big one.
Facts. Let me answer this one.
We need to do that, guys. We need to go ahead. Right now.
Yeah, sure.
Find a bunker. Find our Gary that's going to have a bunker. They'll put all his money into it so we can get in that bunker too.
Find Gary, huh? You do realize the pension for the males for the USPS is not nearly what it used to be.
Hold on, here's Danny. Rather you send a message or a person, that's still a form of time manipulation. Hello, technically yes, but
I don't think it's wrong.
We're just saying it's all. Yeah, it's just not just.
I'm starting to get Mephisto feels with Danny on this one. just saying, he's hardcore riding that timeline. Literally.
I like this episode addressed how dumb Gabrielle was to confront Jane. Yes, and then she went and confronted Sinatra too, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, the message sent to Amanda's mother at the hospital that black man delivered is a form of time travel. That's very similar to the Flash gave Bruce the message about Superman in Justice League. Yeah, except for the fact that Flash actually ran back in time. Right? That's the difference. Flash ran back in time, and then we see Flash. This is just something like a message algorithm. Yes, you're not wrong, Danny. It 100% is a form of time travel, but it's not time travel in the sense of sending someone back in time.
Well, not necessarily, because if you think about it, when a signal's sent from across space, it's actually coming from a different place and a different time, because time is relative. So in theory, it's only the time it takes to get someplace. So let's just throw this out there in a really crazy idea. If we're talking maybe different timelines and stuff like that, there could be an alternate Earth where all this stuff is going on, and that got sent from many wherever. And by the time it gets there, it's in the past, or vice versa. I mean, there's all sorts of theories where this goes. So yes, it can be a form of time manipulation, time travel. But again, time is relative. So whether or not you want to call that, it's how they play it. If they play it where you see Sinatra hit a button and then she flips back in time and starts in a different place again to fix the problems that happen, that's time travel, in my opinion. If it's something that manipulates and changes things, but they all stay in the same place, I don't call that time travel. I call that time manipulation or reset somehow. And that, I don't know. To me, it's just it's a factor of time travel. To me literally means like Back to the Future shows it. I flash from one moment, I end up in the exact same spot in a different moment.
Daryl said, savage, they're just kids. Yeah, stupid kids, all right? Like, what are they doing going down in this elevator and like, oh, what are they going to do? What was their plan? Oh, you know what I mean?
She just wants that presidential, you know what?
like, what was the plan? Like, you know? Dr. Miller created.
When you're that age, you will be willing to do whatever you can to get the opposite sex. I'm just letting you know. When
you might, but
years old,
but you're not breaking. You're not breaking into a prison, Brian, to get it, though.
But technically, her plan would have worked had they not decided that they wanted to do the shutdown as soon as she got in the elevator.
Okay, no, wait. You said it. No, hold on. Yes.
Listen.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You said her plan would have worked. What plan though? They would have went down there and what? Beat up
They
the
would have
guards
went
that were
down.
down there? The two little girls are gonna beat up all the guards and let everybody
No,
out?
they
Like
wasn't
what?
gonna
What's
beat the guards. I guess they was just gonna talk because there wasn't nothing else for them to do but that.
100%? Yes.
They were gonna go down there and do some crazy Megan dance and like kung fu their way through
Right.
everything.
Dr. Mello created Alex for time manipulation, so Sinatra is using this for resetting time to save Dylan. Something like that, yeah. They have said season 3 is going to be the last season. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
They just need to find all 6 Dragon Balls and wish everyone back. Really, Danny? If it's all AI simulation, that would suck. Ooh,
I would
okay.
be so pissed. That's what Chris said.
Yeah, I thought about the simulation, and I really don't want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
I'm not saying it's a proper answer, but if you think about the context of this show, that it's about it started out with a bunker to save people from an extinction level event, and if they know that so many years after the fact it would get worse again, like they've mentioned in the show, it would make sense. Anybody trying to prepare or build a bunker or try to find a way to save people in general.
Yeah, except for the fact
Even
that Xavier
today.
left the bunker. He went into, had Andy, who had a totally different experience. Then he had other people in other cities that had different experiences. I don't know if you can say that they are all saying, in that same
Again,
situation.
AI can do whatever. Everybody knows AI has a few things here. It can tell, or it can guess on
Probabilities.
outcomes and probabilities. So again, you could use it. But here's the other thing people don't know about AI. They have hallucinations. Hallucinations in AI and simulation of AI, if it's an AI hallucinating, that could account for all the weird differences and things going on. I'm putting it out there. Again, I'm not saying it's the right answer. I'm not saying that they should go down that road.
I would not see season 3 if they come up with season 2. The end of season 2, it was a simulation. I'm done.
That is why I don't think Alex is the end game of it. It is a part of it, and I don't think you would find that out until the end of season 3. I don't think they would give us that right now. I don't think they would, because why would you watch it? Okay, so we're going to reset it and play again? No, nobody's going to watch the 3rd season of that. No, they would do it at the end of season 3 if they were to do that. I don't think they're going to tell us anything except for a little tease of what exactly Alex does, and then it's not even going to be doing the full amount of what it will do. Ultimately, I don't think
it'll probably end with us actually seeing what Alex is, and that's the last scene of us seeing what Alex is, not what it does, just what it looks like. You know what I mean? I can see that. But if it's a time loop situation where it just keeps looping, it could be, but that would kind of piss me off too, because now you copying from, and from does it better, so we're not doing that. So y'all saying this is Groundhog Day?
No, not
necessarily. No.
And again, just because I say time loop, I'm not saying it's an infinite loop. I'm meaning that she is either used AI to strategize to the moment that when she does do a time loop reset, that at that moment it'll turn out the way she wants it to, or she'll think it turns out that, and maybe that's what happens at the end of season 3. You find out she's wrong, and somebody comes and stabs her in the back, and she dies there. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, think of it as like, okay, so let's say Back to the Future, right? Now, Marty goes back in time, change something, gets Back to the Future, things are different, right? That's what it is. She's sending a message to the past so that things will change and not necessarily as someone going back in time, right? So when time gets back to her time, it's a little bit different than it was before she sent the message. Yeah,
and she can tell things are changing, because here's the thing: Alex, being a kid named Dylan, being born on the same day as her son, may be her son. It may not. It could just be a weird coincidence. But I'm with Brian. When she goes back to her husband and they all get freaky and stuff, man, she's really happy right then, and she says it worked. Like she has figured something out, and that did that, and that's probably why she allowed them to come in. She knows what's going on, and she expected that, and she is now, and I think that's why when she gets in the tram to go to Alex, she is really, look at the way she's walking. Look at what her demeanor. She is strutting.
Yeah,
She
he was
is
happy. What I needed
sure
to
of
know
what
was
she is about to do because she knows she has unlocked something.
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking
what I
about.
needed to know was why
It
her
was
husband
7
didn't
years
have
of
more
experience
questions.
waiting. It all exploded, and now she can't walk straight. That's all it is. Y'all understand?
Go ahead, Tamika. What were you saying?
No, I was saying I needed to know why her husband didn't have more questions when he was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I guess he just was happy and wanted to get some." But
Yeah,
she was like, "Yeah,
facts.
I'm okay,"
No, after
and Dylan's
7
okay
years.
too. I was,
Look, first of all, we all know right before you about to get some, you're not thinking clearly. You're clearly
yeah.
clear comes right
Is it?
afterwards. Right afterwards, you all because what the hell did I do again? But
Yeah.
right before that, he wasn't thinking about nothing. He wasn't worried about nothing. He's been waiting for 7 years, 7 long years for this time. He's like, let's go. She ain't here. My daughter ain't here. Let's go. He
That
might have
blood started
And I agree
flowing.
with that one. I
That,
agree with that one.
Yeah.
But she
that
does say directly to him, it worked.
it
And
worked.
he doesn't
Yeah.
even say anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tamika's right. But why didn't he say anything else? Because he knows more than he's letting on. He's playing he's playing the good husband. He's helping with the
Or
kid.
it
And
doesn't matter. He wasn't
or
good. He
or
didn't care about none of
that blood started flowing in a different direction, and we ain't think nothing else up there. Like, hey,
Right.
what worked? What?
it could be that too.
You
It
said,
could be that
hey,
too.
what got into you? I don't care what your
One
answer
or the
is.
other, because I said he didn't have no questions where that was concerned. Now, I do
Facts.
know that, like, once him and her had the conversation, oh, he would have been 26 now, and, we hear
That's what I
his
knew.
sister talk about it. We already know that that's the setup to say his name, to say
Yeah.
his birthday.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, he didn't look when they did that flashback to the son. That's just a little nitpick for me. I was like, he didn't look like he was that much older than her. I said, so what's supposed to be the age difference between them? They looked like they was close in
Ooh.
age when they did that back. Unless
Yeah.
because he was sick, he looked smaller than his age, possibly, maybe.
No, but
I'm already thinking too
at
much
that
into
point,
it.
it was so far in the past, he would have been like 10 or 12 when he died. But if he stopped him from dying at 10 or 12, now it's only a 12-year
Right.
difference, whatever. Now, 14 years difference. Yeah, so now she's been dealing with this for 14 years. The
Yeah.
dude hadn't got none. I don't care what my wife said. If I haven't got none in that long,
No,
and
but
she
Tamika
came in
make
and wanted to do something, I don't care what's going on. I don't think
no,
he
but
even knew. But I wouldn't stop her and ask her questions. I'm not stopping to ask questions. I'm
no,
like, let's
but
go.
but Tamika makes a good point, right? Because if you look at her daughter was older than Dylan, right? But now Dylan looks older than the daughter.
I don't think that she was older, was she?
Was
I
she?
think she was a second kid to
She's
try
a
to.
second
Oh, was
kid.
she?
I think
Okay,
she
she
was
was
the
a second
second
kid.
one, but
I
I'm
thought
saying
she was
when
the.
we
Younger.
see them all
I thought
together,
What's that?
she doesn't look like she doesn't look like he has 12 years on her or 10 years on her. They look like they may be 2 or 3 years apart.
Apart. Yeah. Yeah, but
But it
now it
could
looks
be
like he's
because he was
12 years.
sick. Right.
Well, and
She's
again,
17
he's
and he's 26.
26, and he keeps mentioning it. So that's a big thing.
Yes.
Let's see
Yes.
here.
He's 26, she's 17, so 9 years different. Now,
It's
if you go
9 years.
back to the first episode, they don't look like they're 9 years apart.
No,
No,
they
they
don't.
look. It says here that they're approximately 3 to 4 years apart. Now, again,
Uh,
if manipulation's being done and he's being pulled from another timeline or some weird crap like that, she may have found in again.
Well,
We're
no, but
we're gonna probably find out for. Go ahead.
the husband said Dylan would be 26 today.
yes.
So, like, I don't know why we worry about any of the other stuff. The husband said Dylan would have been 26 today. He had the girl once he died, like right before he died. Like the little girl was a baby, or wasn't born yet. It can't be a 3-year
No,
difference because he
it
said
says here.
Dylan would be 26. Her husband said Dylan would be 26 today.
I know, but I just looked it up. It says it appears to be a 3 when Sinatra's son, Dylan, falls ill at the grocery store.
She might have been 3.
I don't know.
You know, the daughter might have been 3. You know,
we don't know yet. And again, it may not be her son. It may be some sort of reincarnated, some weird thing. Who knows? I mean, we don't know where they're going to go with this right now. I mean, and I don't know about that either.
I'm seeing if I could find the episode where her son
It's
dies.
in the second or third.
I'm in the second one now. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Right here. I got it. I just had it.
I'm pretty sure that she wasn't even around.
No, she's around.
There
Look at her. She's like 3. So she's like 3, and if he's 12, 13, wouldn't that be 9 years?
That would be, but
12,
he's more like
3.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Because look at him there. Yeah, he's a lot older. Yeah, he's a lot older. Yeah.
So she's 3.
Yeah, he's a lot older.
Because she's in the basket. My baby in the basket at 4.
Yeah, he's a lot older.
She's like 3 and 12. It's a 9-year
Yeah,
difference.
he's a lot. Yeah, he's a lot older. Yeah, he's a lot older.
She might have been 3, but it can't be a 3-year difference.
Yeah, he's a lot. She's a lot older, so it kind of makes sense. Seems like that kind of ties in, so that's good. All right, so let's go back to these comments. I believe Jane is still alive. What do you guys think about Jane? Is Jane still alive?
No, she's dead.
I think it's a chance. Yeah.
Go ahead. What was that, Tamika?
No, I was saying I think it's a chance. I think she dead, but I think it's a chance she's not dead. Because what I need people to be doing anytime, listen, I'm always a person. I was surprised because y'all know I said the last 2 episodes that Gabrielle was about to be up out of here. So I was surprised when she got the upper hand on Jane. I was hyped like, okay, Gabby, but what we gotta do whenever we stabbing somebody, shooting somebody, if you beating somebody, I would say beat them to the white meat. Like you gotta keep going and going and going. I believe she bled out, but it's still for me like there's a chance that she could have, still be breathing in there, but I'm not mad at it if she gone. I just wasn't expecting it, so that definitely was a pleasant surprise for me because I thought Jane would be around to the end. But so now, does that mean that it's more to Gabby's story? Because I kept saying, why is she coming telling them what the hell she's gonna do? That kept throwing me off. Her approaching Jane, her approaching Sinatra, saying, "I'm not gonna stop. You're not gonna make me stop."
If you remember last week. Somebody said that Gabrielle was going to be the bad one. I still don't think that, but it could be a possibility.
Just saying. It might have been just one of those things you change. People that you think are good or bad, and people that think are bad are good. This is what happens.
So she's there to stop Sinatra from doing what she's doing, which would help save the world. Ooh, that would be interesting.
So what we're saying right now is this is just a cheap way to get people like us who had never watched soap operas to watch a soap opera because we are talking now about switch people, good to bad, time manipulation, time travel, evil twin, all this. So basically, this is just a really good and exciting soap opera.
But if you really check on it, a lot of the shows we watch are soap operas. I went back and watched Lost, and I'm like, this is really soap opera. Not to mention, I can't stand fucking Jack and Locke anymore. Like they're idiots. I'm watching the show again. I'm like, these guys are clowns, bro. Like, so 100%. So it could definitely be soap opera. I think the end game is them time traveling the whole bunker to restart civilization thousands of years in the past, why they are pulling so much energy to the side of the bunker. Again, that's some Lost stuff, right? Moving the island to the past or something like that. I hope that's not where we're going.
Oh, man. I will walk away.
Me too. With all that intelligence, it was President Cal who pointed out the obvious of what might occur. Yes, he did say what happens if everything happens at the same time, and look what's happening. Shit's happening at the same damn time.
But again, she smiles when he walks away. No, but she smiled when he walked away because she's already planned for that.
Because she did say, "Not my watch."
Exactly.
And,
But
and
it seems
again,
like it's
we're,
happening.
we're
So,
talking about the
Yeah.
tram. She gave an independent power supply. We know she's stealing power from the bunker. That's been established. So she's got some sort of independent supply that isn't fully attached to the bunker. Yeah.
Danny said, "You crazy if you think the underground White House isn't very similar to Paradise."
But it's
Um,
not simulated outside.
but it's not. But it's been working on for years. I bet it has more things than Paradise, no doubt in my mind. Interesting. It would make sense, but that's terrible TV. The simulation episode will go down as the worst in Game of Thrones. If
yeah.
this is all simulation or it's all just resets back to the start of the show, that would really suck. That makes sense why Xavier and Link are both having distorted vision hallucinations. Exactly.
Hmm.
Said, no one person or people can stop nature, though. Yeah, exactly. Sending messages won't stop natural disaster from happening. Right. It won't. But what it could
Mm-mm.
stop, because if you don't remember, they had to blow the EMP because all the countries started throwing their nukes out, right? So if you can go
Hmm.
back in time and send a message and say, "Listen, it's not what you think it is. It's just an event that will last so and so," right? That could at least stop the nukes from going to where they don't have to use the EMP. So that's what could be the difference. From isn't the first show to have time paradox, so Paradise doing it won't just be copying them. I'm
No, we
not
talking
saying
about
it.
lost. We talking about. I mean, there's time manipulation in so many different
Yeah,
other
yeah.
shows.
X Files had moments of that. I mean,
Hmm.
lots of shows that have a futuristic, like a sci-fi ish thing to it. They explore these things all the time.
Hmm.
Um, so we know it's something like that. I'm leaning more to the AI algorithm thing because those are kitschy words right now.
Yeah.
Those are buzzwords. So time travel to me doesn't seem necessarily where it'll go. It's something to do with AI and
Hmm.
that kind of
Different
thing. I
dimensions.
don't know.
I love all of that. I'm just saying the way they set this show up, I was not expecting it to necessarily go down that road. Like I loved Fringe. Dark on Netflix was one of my favorites. That show was fire. I think they did a good job with it. Listen, one of my favorite movies is The Time Traveler Wife. Like I love traveling stuff, but I just didn't see it in this.
Well, I
Facts.
think Danny might be onto something there too. Maybe again, because we know that there's been lots of things talking about AI simulation or computer simulation of end world events. There's war games. There's lots of stuff out there where a computer continues to simulate. They even had that one virtuosity with oh gosh, yeah, that wasn't Fishburne, was it? No, it wasn't Fishburne. Shoot,
Denzel.
Denzel and Russell
Denzel.
Denzel
Oh,
Crowe.
Washington. Thank
Denzel.
you.
Yeah.
Denzel
I'm like,
Washington. Well, no, no. I'm just so
I
there's
know.
that where it tricks an AI simulation in a simulation. So there's directions they can take this. I think there's definite, like they said, time loop that resets the whole thing. That's just too easy. Again, resetting everything. That I would only hope for that to be in Star Wars, where they make another sequel trilogy and change everything.
Facts. So let's get into, because we talked about all of this stuff, but let's get into the stuff
Yeah.
that we didn't like in this episode. I'll start off with you, Brian. What didn't you like in this episode?
Only that Gary didn't get shot in the face, but besides that, I really didn't care about anything. I really didn't mind anything else. I think from the beginning with Xavier, I didn't care. Wasn't mad at Robinson. I wasn't. I mean, the girls are stupid, but I can't talk about them just being stupid because they think they know how to run the damn world because they know a couple passwords and they're stupid. But whatever, I'm not gonna be mad at that either because just that's in every show. So like, if Gary would have died, I would have been like, this is a perfect show.
I
Stab
got
him in
you.
the face. That's what I want. Just dead, Gary dead. That's all I care.
What about you, Tamika? What did you not like in this episode?
Yeah, that lowered the score for me with Gary not getting taken out. Even though I said last week that Terry more than likely was not gonna let Xavier or want Xavier to take him out. Terry better than me. I'm sorry, because I'd have been like, "Go ahead, babe. Yeah, get him up out of here." Like that's it. That's all. It's nothing for us to talk about. And I know we discussed too that he would probably end up being left there by himself, and that's a punishment. But I just didn't feel like it was punishment enough. Like, you tried to take my husband out, and then you came and stole Bean, and you took him out. Oh, welcome home. You're home. I cooked. Like, what? I'm sorry. Gary could have
Yeah.
went for me, and I felt like I wanted. I know we ain't got that much time. We down to the wire now. But I felt like we needed a little bit more conversation and things with Terry and Xavier than we got, especially since we waited so damn long to get to that point. But, that's just a little nitpick of mine. That wasn't really a big deal. But I
I'm
would
not
have scored it
asking
higher
you.
if Gary would have got out of there.
Facts. So let me say this too before Chris goes, right? Because here's my issues, okay? We were kind of right when we said Gary. We thought Gary had Bean and Terry, which he didn't. He
You
had
said
Bean,
Bean.
but my question is, how does he have Bean? Right? It's obviously Terry knows that he killed a friend, so why would she leave Bean with him?
No, when the explosion
No,
happened, she ran
he
after
came when the
Xavier,
explosion
and then he
happened.
went and
Yeah.
grabbed Bean after that explosion. When everyone else was
Yeah.
running towards Xavier, he grabbed Bean.
Yeah.
he had done enough recon
He
to know where
did?
Bean was. What?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's the
grabbed Bean
only
and
I didn't
shot him.
explanation
notice
because I
it the
don't think he
first
had.
time.
In this
I'm sorry. I
episode?
was gonna say, yeah, I
When the
didn't notice
explosion
it the
happened,
first time, but when I rewatched it, he stole Bean while they were busy with Xavier, and that's why he left the note like I have Bean, because I was saying like, huh, he had him the whole time. Xavier would have seen him when he went into the walkthrough, but then the second time I watched it, I said, oh, while they were busy with all the commotion, that's when he stole Bean.
Just
So
like
he
he
was
was
still
going to
trying to
do.
do stuff.
look,
He
Xavier
Yeah.
about to kill, about to
let
kill all of
Xavier.
them.
So
So here's the thing. He's not smart enough to come up with a plan. He didn't know how to do anything. But as soon as Xavier started talking about it, he's like, oh, hey, wait a minute here. I got an idea. I'm going to let him do all the work. I'm going to kill him. And then,
I'll take Bean,
whatever.
bringing her
Well,
back.
he
Bring
probably,
but
yeah,
bring
he,
when
Terry
well,
back.
originally his idea here was probably, I'm going to kill him. And then when she comes out and sees her dead husband, I'm going to go console her. And I'm going to be able to take them back. And I'm going to have my family.
does he grab Bean?
He
In
does.
this episode or the
This
last
Yeah.
one?
during this
They
time,
don't show it. They don't show it. It's just it's the most probable outcome of what actually happened because Xavier lines out exactly what he's going to do to get Terry out of there, and basically he hopes to kill Xavier. Therefore, it creates a distraction, and it would do two things: he could get Bean out of there, and then maybe convince Terry to come back. Now, it doesn't work that way because Xavier gets out of the way, but it still creates a chance for him to get Bean, which is, in his idea, a
But
bargaining chip to get Terry back.
I
but
don't
Bean
think
is
you guys
no.
remember. I don't think you guys remember that when Terry goes and tells Gary, "My husband's outside," he was shocked. He didn't know
Yeah.
Xavier. He didn't remember. He didn't know Xavier was still alive. He heard the explosion. He grabbed Bean and he left a note to try to get her because the train's going to take off one way or another. So he wanted Terry to come back. She knew if he grabbed Bean that she'll come back for Bean. So then
But
Yeah.
he
how
didn't
does
even
he
know
grab
Xavier was out
Bean
there.
with all those
They don't
people there?
show
How
it.
does he grab
They,
Bean?
no. He
All the
again.
adults are
He
running
had
around
done exactly, and he had done enough recon
to know where Bean
because
was.
she took Bean there to be safe from Gary.
I'm sorry.
Xavier doesn't know this. I mean, it makes sense to me. They just don't
It does,
show
yeah.
it happening. And the
That's.
thing is, well,
Go ahead. Go ahead. But
anyways,
that's
I
horrible
mean,
to me because the last episode ends right with Bean looking at him killing his best friend, right? And
That's just
then
a
when we get
flashback.
back, yeah, right. But then when we get back to this episode, I don't know, man. It's just weird.
Because you don't know where Bean is right now, but he probably does, right? You don't know where he is, but all the adults going after it. You think Bean is running out with the people with the gun with the explosion? No. Why
maybe.
that distraction's going out?
don't know.
Gary's going to snatch up Bean because all the adults are running out.
And again, Gary's not smart enough to come up with these plan of actions. Xavier is. When Xavier gets there, he knows all about Xavier. He plays the guy of, man, they took her from me. I was going to help her
Let me
get
see
back
this.
to you. I was going to do all this stuff. And and then the lady finds the note on the ground. He drops the note when he gets him, and he probably planned to do it anyways. Because again, I think ultimately the plan was that he planned to kill Xavier, and in the process, drop the note, get the kid, and then try to figure out a way to get Terry to come back. I'm sorry, I'm here for you. Remember, I love you, and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt the same way about that part. I didn't understand it the first time. I was like, how the hell did he get beaten? And then I'm like, I'm assuming that he got, him amongst all the confusion that was part of his plan. They just didn't show us. And we were saying last week that he probably was going to try to take the baby. But in this case, he just went ahead and said bean.
Yeah. Now, the thing is that, again, they set this up in the sense that he's telling Xavier that these people took Terry and Bean. Yep. That's not the case. They left to go there to get to Colorado. So he's trying to set it up to get Xavier to put a plan of action in place because he knows he's the reason. He's trying to keep them from going. So I don't think Bean's in a place that is locked down. They're not locked up. We see because she comes out almost immediately. So again, it's not what he said. The way you make it, the way he makes it sound when they first go to look at this train, he's like they're in there somewhere. He is setting up the idea that they're being held against their will. We find out when that thing goes off that's not the case. So Bean is probably in a fairly accessible place. He's not kept hostage someplace. So it's not like it's hard to get the kid. If all the adults, which most of them probably would go to that place, and if they're trying to keep her safe or just any of them safe, they're going to pull back. Nobody's necessarily going to pay attention to a kid. Maybe. I mean,
but either or, that is a problem that you don't show that. That is a problem because I've seen other videos where they had the same issue where it's like, well, even if like she's been so protective of Bean, like she wouldn't even have left him alone with these strangers that she didn't even know, right? We don't know how long she's been with them, right? So I don't know. I just found that part a little bit.
With her husband, I don't think it's a problem.
But Gary should have definitely died. But I, for me personally, I think if you're, there could have been a better way to show us that he had Bean during this altercation that happened. That's all I'm saying. Because I was like, how the hell you get Bean, right? Why would Terry leave Bean and you be able to grab him? So I don't know. But maybe we'll get a flashback to that or whatever. But that was one of my negatives. What happened to Bean or what happened with Terry? Gary was a huge negative because Gary should have died. And I didn't like the fact that Terry was just over there like trying to protect him and shit. I'm like,
Man, always trying to kill the white man. Just always trying to do it, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The white man tried to kill the black man, so he got to go.
Exactly. I'm right there with you with that. I was pissed with Sammy. She like, oh, my husband is dead. I said, if you don't move out the damn way.
Facts. You know what I mean? Leave the man by himself and stuff. Yeah, but go ahead, Chris.
She doesn't want to have her husband be a killer. Yes, he's done things, so whatever. I mean, he says there's things have changed.
The man said, I'm going to kill him. She said murder, and he said, there's a lot of things I got to talk to you about. You know what I mean? So,
But okay, so I go with Brian on this a little bit where he said, listen, your wife says don't do it. Now, I almost expected, as soon as they walked around the car, he had him still in his sights. I almost expected him just to take the shot and put him out of his misery. Like, dude, I'm just going to take care of this for you. You're lonely, whatever. I thought right there, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for that one blood shot, just boom, right there between the eyes. I literally thought that was going to happen. I don't care one way or another if he leaves him alone. Listen, the guy's going to lead a miserable life now. Nobody is ever going to be around that guy. He has alienated everybody. Listen, okay, people say it all the time when they convict murderers. They say when they get life, they're like that. Well, he deserves that because now he has to sit there and think about it the whole time. Putting him out of his misery is more of relief
A way out.
they deserve. So, I mean, there is some part that maybe that's going on in Xavier's mind. Like, you know what? I'm going to leave him here. I'm going to let him deal with all the things he's done. But I get why, it's a problem for people. To me, I'm indifferent about that part of it. I can see why. That's fine. I think that it is a little too coincidental that, of course, the very thing they talk about in this episode ends up happening in this episode. Everybody presses a different button at the same time, and it causes this weird, like, I don't know what do you guys want me to do? Open the door, not open the door, close the doors, all this, that weird. It's a little too circumstantial and on the nose. I get why. I mean, that might be my biggest nitpick. I kind of agree with Tamika. Yeah, I'd like to have seen a little more of. Okay, I don't necessarily need to see this, but hey, listen, you let Sinatra and her husband do their thing. Why didn't you give them 5 minutes to do their thing? Because don't they deserve that? Think about it. You haven't seen your wife in how long, and now you find out she's alive, and you actually get to see her in this episode. You gotta know. Especially when the one lady comes out and says, make sure you keep it down. I'm surprised they didn't show something like that. I mean, come on. So there's some things in this, but definitely what Tamika said, the conversation between them, there should have been a little more exposition between the two of them about what's going on. Because they both basically said there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about, or we'll have time to talk about it. So maybe we won't see the impending part of Xavier and Terry in the train. Maybe there'll be a 10-15 minute section while they're on the train, and we'll get that in the next episode. But I do think this was a proper episode to do it, especially now that you've put all this craziness in place from this episode to the next episode. But maybe we'll get more of that in the next one, because they just got back in contact, and his whole mission has been her.
Yeah, but now that's not his next thing is not about having sex with my wife. It's about getting my wife to my kids. And
I am not necessarily saying that had to happen. I'm just saying I'm surprised that they gave it to Sinatra.
And love intimacy. No, hold on. When you've been married for 15, I'm just telling you, someone who's been married for 15 years, the hug, the love, the intimacy away from my kids is not the same. I need to get back my wife to my kids, my family's there, then it's different. I think that's just a different thing, and it's looked at different. I'm just
but my point is more the conversation.
There was a scene where the girl says, "You guys keep the welcoming noise down," right? Because she was expecting them to go in there and fuck. Yeah. Now I get that 100% that you got to get back to your kids, but if we got 10 minutes before this train takes off, 100% we going down. It's going down. All I need is 10 minutes.
Do you not remember what happened after that? Do you guys not remember what happened? Like we're talking in loops, but I get it. Remember that sheet when they get alone. Hey guys, by the way, we need to go get Bean because he's been kidnapped. That's what happened right then. So like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Again,
they're alone. Bean, go get
I
Bean.
Did not say.
And then go on the train.
I stated I was surprised. I said I was surprised they didn't put that moment in. But more to Tamika's point, because Tamika didn't. Wait. When you make an episode, you make the time. You formulate the plan.
The son that she has is kidnapped. I know he's kidnapped right now, but let's have sex.
No. I did not say right then. I did not say that right there. And again, I didn't say that had to happen because Tamika didn't mention that at all. That was my first step. And when I said Tamika mentioned, what she mentioned was there wasn't discussion between the two of them about things that have been going on. And so I do feel like the conversation part between the two of them, there should have been more moments for that. And yes, I understand what you're saying. When were they going to do this? You make time as the writers. If you understand they have to get there to save this kid, fine. Then you need to find where's that time after maybe.
Technically, they had to walk to get the kids, so they could have had the conversation while they were walking.
Okay,
they just didn't show us all the conversation.
Exactly.
Right.
So just like Nzo has a problem with them not showing him taking Bean. I get that, and I get the timing thing. I'm just saying, if there's things I have to nitpick about, I agree with that. I agree that the conversation should have been there between him and his wife about things. Um, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker. This episode for me does not have one single I didn't like it moment. It blends well all together. This series has done an excellent job, especially, and I know I was only here for the first 3 episodes before I had missed some of them with you guys, but I think you guys will all agree with me. They have done a great job since that first one, and some of our concerns about Annie and other things going on. They've done a great job of keeping the focus on Xavier and still giving us parts of Paradise going on, and it not feeling fragmented or what's going on over here, or why am I being shown this? They're doing a really good job of blending everything in, and everything feels like it makes sense, even with some impending weird shit coming up. It blends well together. This is a brilliant piece of work.
I just think that there's a train travel from Atlanta to Colorado is going to take 14 damn hours. So, and the episode wasn't about what they're going to do on the train. It was just about them getting on the train to get going.
Yes.
So all that stuff that we're talking about, we spent the last 15 minutes talking about, it's going to happen on the train.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we find out more stuff. I don't know.
I mean, they can have sex. They can have conversations.
Do you want me to nitpick?
So listen,
It was a perfect episode.
I'm gonna say this because I get what you're saying, Brian. But to me, Bean isn't my biological kid, so yeah, we gotta save him. But he's not mine, so I don't care.
I got 5 minutes.
I will tell you, a woman like Terry would never allow that shit to happen. And you probably wouldn't be with a person like that. We already know their personalities. We already know what's going on, and that's not. She has been attached to this boy, been basically his mother. She sees it as her kid. So now that's okay. You respect that in that point. Now that doesn't mean that you don't get to do what you want to get done, but there's 14 hours to do that. And they're on a time crunch because they're taking off on a train. At this point, if you're not back, we're gone. So like, oh wait, hold on, let me do this. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to happen on the train if it's going to happen anywhere.
Do you think we'll see Gary again? Hopefully not. I definitely don't. I wish this show had more than 8 episodes a season. Yep, Gary needed to go. I told you Gary had Bean. You did say that. I was right about something. Oh, Gary took Bean at that moment. I didn't get that. Yeah, neither did I. Gary grabbed Bean after the explosion and during the chaos afterward. It makes sense. I just didn't get that Gary took Bean at that moment. I don't want to see no more Gary. Neither do I. This show really about seeing the good in people. I don't think they would kill him after he didn't kill her. You're talking about Gary?
Gary, because that's what Xavier said before with Annie.
Yeah, no, fuck.
There's a lot of good people out there. You just got to see it in them. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you.
The minute Gary told me he loves my wife, he's gone.
Well, there's a bit of that too. But
he's gone, 100%.
I'm just coming up with things that, and again, I said, depending on how they play this next episode, they may still be on the train in the next episode. They may get that in the next episode. I don't know.
I think you are. I don't know if we're going to get the conversation, but they will be on the train. But we have to assume in a 14 to 18-hour trip that a lot of these things are going to happen. You're not just sitting here looking at each other.
Yeah. No. He's even Daryl says, I don't need to see Xavier and Terry saying every detail about what already we've seen. Yeah, I agree with that. But
is there a moment where maybe Terry or Xavier say something?
I didn't need every detail, but I did. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't need every detail, but I felt like some of the other episodes we spent a long time with people. We've been waiting since season 1 for him to get back with his wife. So it was certain things. That's just my little nitpick. It's not nothing, major.
No.
But I was like, even with, because we know. And at this point, Xavier has learned how important Bean is to her because he's kind of got the backstory, even though we know Gary was lying about certain things, but he knows that and he understands it. Plus, he just went through what he went through with Annie. like he made the joke, they implied it, but I wanted them to go a little deeper because even when she was going to explain to him about Bean and why it was important that they go get him, he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh no, don't worry about it because we got some talking to do. Like, do you still like babies?" You know, I wanted to kind of see her reaction. Like, damn, well, you got a little white baby, I got a little white baby. Like, you know,
but I
Yeah.
don't think
but
that's
that
what
was
you're going
just
to see that
me.
on a non-black show. Like that's not what we're going to see. We're going to see these
Well,
But
things.
you know, but
As
I like
in,
how they implied it. I like how they
You
made the joke about them not making too much noise. You know what I mean? So that
exactly.
wasn't
you
a big thing. But I was like, Dad, we waited so long for them to have their reunion, and it was rushed.
you
And so
Exactly.
already
like,
know.
There it
You
is.
already know. You already know my thoughts, and I'm gonna say it again. And I said it earlier, and I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids. All right,
Okay.
that's
All right.
all I'm saying.
Another thing about this is again, I said when you say, well, we've already heard everything that they have to say. Well, we don't know that. Again, this show is very particular about certain people having information that they may not know is information to a bigger storyline. We have seen it before. Little things have been told. Again, the guy that killed the president had a whole backstory we didn't know. And again, I still say that the end of this next episode, we're going to see a lot of things we didn't catch. And we're going to go, okay, wait a minute. Okay, now I kind of get it. And again, this show is very good about giving us they start with the edge pieces of the puzzle. Okay, now we see the shape. Then they build in little parts and so, oh look, here's a little house in the puzzle. Oh look, there's kids playing outside of the house. Next thing you know, you have a family picnic outside. So I'm being just in general here. I'm just saying they give us portions of that picture, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you get another portion of the picture. And then by the time it's all said and done, they show us how the whole thing works into this season. So we don't
Yeah.
know what Terry could say that all of a sudden plays a bigger part in something that happened in these 3 years that we didn't see in any of these things. Something just offhanded. Again, Alex has been brought up this whole season, and we're going to find out what that is. So
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying I wanted to hear the same things we've already seen or that we know. I'm not saying that. I think maybe a writer could throw a little something else in there to sweeten the
Let
pot
them
of
know
something
that we
going
at
on.
least had the conversation or some shit like that.
Right.
I agree
Something.
with
But
that.
I
And
agree.
again,
I think they do.
I
I
am
think they do a good job with that. They're probably gonna have, even if it's in season 3, they probably will have some other flashbacks that's gonna end up
yeah.
connecting different things. I'm
And
not
again,
worried about that. I need a
going
backstory
Right.
on Dylan. I want to see more of him and his past
yeah.
now. And I
We
still
will.
want to know what happened to Stacy. Did she make it out? Because now that we got Jay, I mean, we saw Stacy. I wanted to know whether she was alive or not.
Yeah.
Facts. 100%.
Again,
Brian, you're shaking your
talking
head.
about
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Hold on, let me get to these comments because we got to close it up soon. Then I want to see
Yeah.
where Brian was shaking his head. He said, just come in and do y'all think it's time travel? If so, that takes away from the natural realism of the show. It's possible for a secret bunker. It's some sort of time travel. Like we're thinking like maybe time manipulation and not really time travel. But yeah, it kind of does take away from the realism of the show. Brian, why were you shaking your head?
only because as a show that has multiple storylines, that has multiple things that are happening, there are major plot points, and you already had an hour of a show. You have to make and choose your points where you're going to assume the audience is not dumb. So you assume that the audience can figure out this A, B, and C can happen during these times because you have so many major plot points that you can't waste your time with that. You can assume that you can figure a lot of these things out. So like over this conversation, the whole thing is just overdone because there's other plot points that are going on that are
Right.
really more
They
important.
could have cut off the Gary's plot point, right? They could have shortened that plot point down because that was a nothing burger, right? So you could have cut
It
that down.
doesn't matter though, because you assume on an 18-hour train ride, just in knowing these two characters, we've now known they introduce these characters. They're giving you their personality. You know who they are. You assume you know what's going on between them and in this 18-hour thing. And I don't have to tell you because it's not a major plot point because I'm trying to pull 4 plot points together at the same time. I don't think that it's unnecessary
Brian.
to just assume those things, and I think that's okay for a writer to just say that. Now they could have killed
Okay.
Gary, and that would have been fine for a plot point to end a plot point. It's like me arguing, saying, "Why didn't I see Xavier go pick up the baby with the two couple? Why did I need to? I should assume that Xavier goes and picks up the baby from the couple. You know,
Brian.
I just
Brian.
assume that man and wife who have these great conversations are going, and they say we have a lot to talk
Or-
about, and we have a long period of time that conversation has to happen, and I don't need to talk about it for 20 minutes.
And for 20 minutes, all I've been trying to say is you asked for what I disliked. I didn't dislike a single thing. I'm nitpicking, and I didn't say it had to happen. Because the same thing could have been said about Bean being stolen. I didn't need to see him take it. It made sense. The notes on the ground. He had to have done it. I'm only nitpicking something. I'm not saying it had to happen. If you want me to nitpick something, I would think you could have cut a little bit off somewhere else and made it happen. They didn't do it. I don't really care. I didn't think Gary needed to die. I really don't care about that. The episodes have been fine for me. It's not like I needed that. I am giving a nitpick observation.
No, I'm nitpicking on that. We're still talking about a point that's not the major plot point. That's
Yeah,
what
I was done with it.
That we're still talking about the non-major plot point.
But I'll
what you
say
disagree
this.
with, if you don't like, it's fine. That's all, whatever. But we need to just get to.
I'll say this though. I'll say this though. I do kind of agree with Tamika though. You have us trying to wait 2 seasons for these two to get back together. You should have given us a little bit more time with them than to worry about this stupid ass scene with Gary. That was a nothing burger. That ended up being a waste of time.
I do like. Well,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
it didn't have to be that long.
I didn't see who said it, but they said Terry was going to go get Bean with or without Xavier. So the whole thing of
100%.
not killing Gary, she would have figured out how to walk out and said, "Listen, you'll be fine." All that. I don't know. Again, there are things that could have been done, but I don't find anything wrong with this episode at all. I don't.
I think this season moved way too far away from Xavier as a major focal point of the show. I agree with you on that 100%. Nitpick is fair enough, but Brian is just defending the nitpick. Yeah, but it's fine to defend it. That's fine, right? It's okay.
I have no problem with it. I have no problem with the nitpick at all. I just don't want to talk about it for 20 minutes because there's other things that we didn't get to talk about, like the doctor or how that whole thing went along. I feel like there's more things that we could have talked about, but especially because Xavier is so important. That's not the nitpick I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have a nitpick that him not being the major part of episode 1. I'm going to have a nitpick that you have an entire episode about other people that get killed off the next episode. I'm going to have a nitpick about all those things. So I understand, but I'm not going to talk about it for 20 minutes. I'm just going to say it, done, okay, go on to the next thing.
What doctor thing you talking about?
Well, everything with her. I mean, what she did with this entire conversation, the fact that she attacked Jane, the fact that she went after Sinatra, that she even after all that stuff still was able to figure out, she's looking at me, she's going to come at me, I'm going to set her up again with this shower again. I'm going to make sure, and then I know she's looking, I know she's going to think I'm stupid, and then she stabbed her and was able to get. I don't know if she killed her, and I still don't know if she killed her. But the fact that she was able to defend herself in a situation that shows that these other unassuming characters are going to be major plot points that still going forward in season finale. That's all.
So, you think that the doctor went to Sinatra and Jane because she knew that Jane would come after her?
I think she knew that Jane was going to come after her.
And she was playing. She was playing. She's vigilant enough. And I think she's, I don't know. And I go with Brian on I'm not sure you killed Jane that way that quick. I don't know, because you built her up to be this pretty lethal character. Maybe, you could do it. It may be she's dead. But that whole focus on her laying in the shower thing, boy, that's an interesting.
She could be alive, she could be.
And again, because remember, they make a point in this episode. They make a point in this episode to show that she was told, breathe, pull out your thoughts, and go into this Zen state. She might be doing that. like this
Or
almost catatonic state to keep herself alive until the doctor leaves, thinking everything's cool, and then she hides in the shadows from now on. And then at the end, halfway through season 3, she pops back up, and we're like, "Oh well, what the heck happened?" And we get a flashback
Your body.
or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, don't think for a minute she's gone. She might be, but don't think for a minute
or
she
maybe
absolutely
the
is.
doctor, maybe
And
the
Sinatra
doctor
sent her
saves her or
her
something.
location, right?
Yeah,
Sinatra
yeah.
sent Jane
Somebody did.
Yeah.
her
I think it was Sinatra.
her location. That which is pretty
Yeah.
phenomenal too, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
are there
Yeah.
more players that we aren't aware about? Was it Sinatra specifically? Are there other things going on? That's going to be something that's going to
Yeah.
be figured out next episode. So,
100%.
I felt like it was Sinatra that sent it. Like once she left out and said, I'm not gonna stop coming after you," like that. And she was asking about Alex. I feel like Sinatra could be somebody else, but right now I feel like it was Sinatra that kind of sent her to go ahead. And since Robinson already put her on, and she knew like this is the one you need to watch out for. Sinatra's telling her what to do. I feel like she started playing the game. I didn't see it at that time, but the way she pressed them, I said, "Wait a minute, girl. Why would you go and tell them what you gonna do? Like you should be being quiet." I was scared for her, but apparently
Mm-hmm.
she had this plan all along. Like I'm gonna get her up out the paint, and she seems to be the biggest, obstacle. And I'm gonna figure out what Alex is. Now, does Sinatra have somebody else? Because remember, she had Jane for Billy, and
yeah.
it is funny to me that she was able to surprise Billy and take him out. He didn't expect that from her, and now Gabby surprises you and gets the upper hand on you. Somebody that you didn't expect to do that. So I like how they flipped that and kind of, showed her get surprised in
There's
the
a
way that she was
comeuppance
surprising
there.
people.
Yeah, yeah. She knew. I believe she knew what she was doing when she went after them and was like, okay, well, she's already got from Robinson that Jane is the one to worry about. That's why she kept Jane from the detail and stuff like that. So I still don't. I still don't think she's gonna be Twist as the bad person, right? Because there has to be somebody in there for Xavier. It could be not the black chick's there too, but
Robinson's still there.
yeah, Robinson's still there too. But I think her and Robinson are on Xavier's side so far. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, though. We'll see what happens with that. Let's get to our. Or is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I just think I wonder, is Sinatra going to regret? Is she going to have to give up Link again to save the day? That's why I kind of wanted to get to the point is, we see
Go ahead.
Xavier and Link walking down that whole tunnel, right? Is it possible that in order to save the day or to stop it from blowing up, Link is going to have to do something and it sacrifices his life and Sinatra loses that point again and we still have to deal with this next season with her still looking for a way to reconnect with her son Dylan?
Possibility.
Is that a sacrifice she has to
Yeah,
have?
definitely.
Well, what is it? What is it that I forget which movie it is that no matter what they try, the same thing. The outcome is always going to be the same, no matter what you try to do. Maybe that's the thing. She's in this feverish try to get her son back, and then this one moment when she goes back and she's all happy because they were there in the same area together. And now she loses him again. Yeah, I mean, there's that very distinct possibility that's going on. And again, maybe this isn't the first time that's happened. Maybe this has happened multiple times, which is why she's still in that clouded, horrible. Like when they're talking in the closet, he says, I've gotten past it. She says, yeah, you've gotten past it, and she's like, I haven't, because
then
maybe she keeps having to relive losing him.
the whole point, again. And I think also the thing of Link going around to different plants, nuclear power plants, and shutting them down, and now we have a nuclear reactor going off. It's too coincidental. There's not they told us this about in the early seasons. The fact that he's there, he has the ability and his people have ability to shut down these nuclear reactors. It's not coincidence.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen with that, and it's possible that he loses his life doing it. And Sinatra won't know about it until she comes back and realizes she should have said something else to Alex, but she no longer has a connection with Alex. And then the whole thing could be about now she's regretting that, and then she's turning back into that evil person. She makes her more into the villain going to next season.
Oof, I could see that. I could
Yeah, I
definitely see that.
definitely could see that.
But so okay, so you think how this season is gonna end? You think the bunker is going to be destroyed by the end of this season?
I think Dylan or Link saves the day. He saves the bunker, and his people all die doing it though.
Do y'all think it's time travel in the show? It's some sort of time travel in Nick Jones, like I said earlier, like time manipulation, right? Not per se as someone going back in time, but sending messages back in time to change things or something like that. I don't know. It's very interesting to see where we go with that. Not exactly sure where it's gonna go, but I don't think it's exactly time travel like we know in the sense of time travel. I think Sinatra makes the ultimate sacrifice to save Link. That's interesting.
Really
So
interesting.
basically, like Groundhog Day, revealing events over and over again? Not necessarily. In the trailer, we see Xavier and Link in the bunker. Yeah, so we still have to see them in there together, and I think them
Yeah,
seeing
we definitely still gotta see that.
seeing them in the bunker together is probably going to trigger some memories, which is going to explain to us what's going on so far. So
I
that's
agree with that.
definitely
Yeah.
interesting.
And he got to tell him about the baby. So does that change anything of
Yes.
his
Yeah,
trajectory?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
that's a good point too. Yeah.
very good point, Tamika.
Yeah. Because it's his baby, right? So he's gonna have to tell him
mhm.
it's his baby. Ooh. So now, how does that split things now?
Because
Right.
the
I'm
woman
curious.
that was the mother is
Mm-hmm.
dead. And if
Mm-hmm.
she's truly dead and this
hmm
isn't all this time manipulation or that isn't as big of a thing as we think it is, what he does is he sacrifices himself because now he has a child in the world that he has to save.
Mm-hmm. That's in this
Mhm.
bunker that he has to do it. And the exact Sinatra is a grandmother. And does that help her with her coping with it?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not positive. Again, I'm not totally positive. He can't absolve her of what she's been doing this season. That
Mm.
still has a whole nother season to play out. So I'm not sure how much
hmm
she can wrap up of that storyline. I do think though Link is probably dead. He's a bit character, but I mean, again, who knows? There's a lot of places they can go with this, and they don't have to give us the answers this season if
Yeah.
they don't want to. Though they did wrap up the mystery of season one at the end, so maybe we get a lot of answers again. Again, they leave just a little sprinkle at the end where Xavier got out, it was fine,
hmm
and then they answer
Oh yeah, you
literally
know they gonna
almost
leave us with
everything
a big
else.
doozy and a hangover at.
Yep.
At the
Big
end.
facts.
We
Did
already
the
know to
bunker blow
expect
up?
that.
I think did the bunker blow up is the thing that we're going to start over season 3.
Yeah,
Is
look at her.
Sinatra alive?
She is way too confident about what she's about ready to go do right
hmm
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's going to tell Alex whatever they did worked, right? Because she told her
hmm
husband that, and she got the nookie, right? As soon as she found out Dylan was done, you see, that's what you do, Brian. When you first, you know what I mean? You get
Once
that
the kids are
nookie.
already done, you walk away from the kids,
hmm
and now it's
you
time to
get,
get it on.
you
Yeah, it's
get that
fine.
Yeah.
nookie. That's why Brian Sinatra will sacrifice herself to save him, so that his daughter doesn't grow up without a father, and they will name the baby Samantha.
That's fire.
Interesting.
Mm.
That's interesting. Very,
Name
I
very
the
can
baby
see
interesting.
it
after
going
her.
either
I
way.
like
Either he sacrifices himself or sacrifices herself, one or the other. And she got to think about her daughter too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a lot. I don't even know.
it. I agree.
It's
yeah,
definitely a lot. But
absolutely.
I really like that conversation that they had in the airplane too, and how he was breaking everything down to her with the apple pie, and how he knew what resources they had in there. He already pretty much knew
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
love that.
And that's you got to ask yourself, how does he know so much about what's going on in this bunker, right? Was he
Yep.
there before or something like that? Ooh, it's going to be
So, and
interesting.
then when Sinatra bought this bunker, and I know this is way off topic a little bit, but when she bought this bunker, was Alex already down there? Was this a bunker that they were doing experiments with? The doctor was doing experiments with that Link knows what's going on down there. knows how big this place is. He knows about a lot of stuff that they're doing. Did he help build a lot of this stuff? Remember, the doctor didn't die right when the beginning when they were doing this bunker. Towards
Right,
the end. So
exactly.
did the doctor, help do all this stuff? Was Link part of it?
So what are you saying is Alex was already there and they
Mhm.
just built the bunker
The
over
bunker,
Alex?
exactly.
Well,
Huh.
there's something about
That's
that
a
because remember,
possibility.
Yeah.
Dylan died after falling and just getting ill out of nothing. Remember, we're seeing similar symptoms kind of out of Xavier, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if maybe again this Alex thing, maybe whatever it is, if Brian's right, maybe that's what caused Dylan's death. And,
I
and,
mean,
and again,
in a loop
that
type
that
thing.
that bubble idea, like some it only goes so far. I mean, again, we'll find out something next week. We'll
That's
figure it out.
interesting. I like
But
that.
Because
yeah, I don't
I
know.
like that.
There's a lot of things they can do with it.
I'm just gonna remember that Billy also had the nosebleed
Right.
He did.
when Link was
Mm-hmm.
in there. Another interaction
Yep.
with Link caused another nosebleed.
Exactly. And Link
Oh
said
yeah.
that his main objective was for him to come and take Alex out because he said it's dangerous. So obviously he knows a lot more about Alex than and he
Absolutely.
said the same thing that Sinatra said. He said nobody else knows about it. How does he know that nobody else knows about it?
Yep.
So that's it. He knows a lot more about Alex, right? Again, we
Mhm.
have that doctor that Billy killed, right? That
Mhm.
was, I guess, taking care of him. So we got to find out why, like what was going on. Oh man, yeah. We're gonna get a lot of information on that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Maybe
that
in.
we're gonna get too much information, and I think that's why we're not gonna figure out what's gonna happen at the end of the episode. Right before it blows up, fades to black.
Yeah. We're gonna get this up because we already know there's gonna be season 3, so we're gonna get minimal answers to the end of this episode. Like I said, we may just find out what Alex is, but
Mm-hmm.
not what it can actually do. You know what
Yep.
I mean? We'll probably find out. Oh, guys, she turns around and they show this big master computer or whatever Alex is. They show Alex there, and then boom, it's over, and we still don't know what Alex does. Does Alex send messages back in time? Send people back in time? So I think that's how they're gonna end it.
That's probably right.
I don't know because again, they didn't leave very much open at the end of season 1. I think we're gonna get a lot more wrapped up than we realize. And they're going to show us every way that this all worked in one thing together. For instance, if she's used Alex before, there's what caused Xavier to crash the plane. Like we're going to see some of these flip arounds that's going to explain everything except just enough to get us to watch this. Now the faded black thing may happen because they may not show the bunker being destroyed or whatever's
Especially
going
because
to happen to
they
the
already
bunker.
told you season 3. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
But whatever they do, that if let's say this has time manipulation or something like that, and she presses one button, it fades to black. But then what it shows is how that she's done it before, and when she did it one time, it made Xavier crash the plane because that's why he went all groggy or whatever. Because we haven't had an answer with that.
It could be a
So
cutaway scene.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to do a lot of that again, just to explain enough of what's going on this season. But they will leave that one nugget that's big enough. Again, the big nugget from last season to this season was Xavier left to go find his
His
wife
wife.
because
Yeah.
he found out that she was alive. Well, that's accomplished now. At the beginning of for season 1, it was somebody killed the president. They answered that. Well, now we've gotten the big. He has found his wife. We're going into another thing. They're going to start setting up the next thing
Big
for next
secret.
season,
Yeah.
and they will answer all the all the little strings that aren't cut tight in the
Yeah.
next episode. So
All the little strings from this season, and then it's gonna leave
exactly,
something open for next season, which is gonna be
exactly,
what exactly Alex is. He said Dylan
exactly.
doesn't want Alex doesn't want to take Alex out. He wants Alex because Sinatra stole it. So that's another thing too. Sinatra did steal it, right? So that's something too. But he did say the earlier season he did say they wanted to destroy Alex, right? So yeah. But with
Well,
that
and
being
again,
said, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I was really quick.
No, go ahead.
Again, if he has anything to do with the scientist that made Alex, like the guy we talked about, that his wife was named Alex, that died, and that was supposed to be Dylan, and that when they left it alive. If that's the same kid, he's coming because he knows what Alex can do, and he knows that's the problem. So yeah, I think he does want to destroy it, get rid of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if there's nothing else, Brian, you have a stream next, right?
No, I finished it. I just said no, we're not doing it.
Oh, okay. All right, because I was trying to get off of here because I thought you had your stream yet. But
No,
so
I was
anything else?
talking- You're good.
Okay, so what else did you want to discuss, Brian? What else did you think about this episode?
No,
like
I think
what
you
are the
guys
series?
covered most of the stuff, but I want everyone to think about the Dylan twist, the Sinatra twist, how it involves Xavier, and what we're going to get next episode. That's all. Just when you think about it, they're going to bring all parties together, and what's going to happen with all parties together? What if something stupid happens and everything that we did this episode stops it? Like, somehow there's a explosion and Xavier's and his kids are on one side, or Xavier is on one side and now Terry is on the other side with the kids. What if Dylan is also with Xavier because of the whole thing, and Sinatra's on the other side with the baby? Like, what if somehow they split them up again to start the next episode or the next season?
I could see
All those
that.
things could happen. But explosion, nuclear reactor is it makes too much sense that Dylan was shutting down nuclear reactors. I'm just saying that just makes it's too much of a coincidence for that not to be part of the storyline going forward.
But that's also something that he did in this episode that didn't make sense. He wants a nuclear reactor. What's a guy that's supposedly going around the country shutting down nuclear reactors wanting just one nuclear reactor? He asked for it. He said, "I want a nuclear reactor." Why?
But did he? But did he really want it?
No,
that's the thing. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah. I don't think he really wanted it because she says, "What do you really want?" And that's when he says, "Alex," right? So I think he just maybe he knows to get to Alex, you have to get to where the nuclear reactors are, right? So it's like, oh, I want a nuclear
doing it all controlling Alex.
Yeah, so I want a nuclear reactor, right? You guys have 3, you give us 1, and they're like, so that could be it. But yeah,
the one that's connected to Alex.
Yeah, exactly. Now one more question. Did you guys? I thought this guy was gonna have some internal ulterior motive. The guy that told them about hitting the I thought he had some other. Yeah, I thought he had.
For a minute.
We're not done with the season.
I'm not sure
We're not done with this season.
Okay, so you think it's a possibility that he still has an ulterior motive?
Yes.
Me too. Because there was one scene where he acted like he didn't know where he was going, and he looked kind of confused and crap. And I'm like, no, you're looking for something else, right? But you're trying to hide it. And I think we're gonna find out that he's going after it or whatever. Maybe he's going after Alex. Maybe he knows Alex is down there too.
Maybe he wasn't gone long enough to go and get to Alex.
No, he wasn't. But he was looking for something, right? Other than where they were going, he was looking for something else, which he probably knows there's a way to get to Alex from down there. And that's what he was looking for. When he couldn't find it, he continued on with the plan. Or maybe he found it and continued on with the plan so that no one knew what he was actually trying to do.
I like it.
I had to go back and watch that part where she walks down to the little the tram, the doors, and see if it's in the same hallway he was in.
It's a good point. It doesn't make sense for the scientist guy to turn on them. It depends. It depends on if they have. I think a lot of people in this place have a lot of ulterior motives, right? So there's a chance that people are out for themselves and people are going to switch up and all kinds of stuff. It's very interesting to see if they go that kind of route. Definitely.
Hey guys, I got to run. I got
Yeah,
to go get a prescription. So
yeah. Shout out your channel. We're gonna close it up anyways.
Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, all that good stuff. And again, this season has been great with this. I think this is just one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. You know, it really
Start
beats
watching
crap
From.
out of anything. I do want to, because I think that's a very interesting premise from what I've read about it. So, anyways, yeah, thanks for having me. As usual, appreciate it, guys. Peace.
Absolutely, 100%. He said season 2 has been great. Absolutely. Maybe he wants Alex. He definitely wants Alex. Tamika, any last thoughts? Actually, let's get, because we didn't get grades. What's your grades for this episode, Tamika? Any predictions if you have them?
I don't even know what grade I want to give. What did I give last week? Like an 8. um, it was a good episode though. I'm gonna say a 9.5. Okay, it would have been a 10 had Gary been taken out. 'Cause I gotta take something off for that. But other than that, I enjoyed it. I'm glad that we found in there, and him able to have the conversation with Sinatra. I loved Gabriella sticking it to Jane. Okay, she didn't see it coming at all. So yeah.
That's why I hope Gabriella's not bad, because I was like, yes, you know what I mean. So, but I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. After Jane's backstory, I was kind of liking Jane a lot more. I was like, oh yeah, she's a psycho killer. I like that. You know what I mean? So, but now she's taken out. So we'll see if she's really dead. Brian, what about
Right.
you?
I'm going to give it a strong, I don't know if you guys see it, A minus.
All right, there you go. A minus.
I don't like giving them too many strong A's, but if I was going out 10, like 9.2, 9.3, there are some really good parts. There are some things that I would have adjusted, but overall, I enjoyed it. It's for a penultimate. What you're supposed to do is start to wrap up a little some of these things, give you a few answers, and start going towards a finale. And they did that. So, A
One
minus.
hundred
Yeah.
percent. And I know Danny's not there because he's texting if we watch Daredevil, blah blah. We'll watch that crap later. But Danny, this penultimate was better than Cross's penultimate,
That's
hands
not even a
down.
question. That's not even a question.
You know what I mean? Not even close. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna give this episode a A2. Like I said, I had a few nitpicks, but they were just nitpicks. It was nothing like to make me say, "Oh my god!" Like that last episode of Cross had me shaking my head to like, "What are we doing here?" Yeah,
The first
it's
2 minutes,
nothing
I
like
had to
that.
turn
in
it
this.
off. I had to turn
Huh?
it off in the first 2 minutes. I had to turn it off.
Yeah. It was so ridiculous. He said, "You are a lie." Who's lying? Who's lying? Who's
He
lying?
said that I think he likes Cross better.
Oh, you like cross betting? You see, you and Danny are on the same point. No. This penultimate was better than cross penultimate, 100% hands down. And I can guarantee that the final episode is going to be better than cross final episode, because cross final episode was caca, was absolute caca. But this episode definitely gets an A for me. I really enjoyed it, other than some of the stuff, like I said, nitpick about, but it's nothing to make me say, oh, I can't stand this episode. And I do think that next episode, I'm sorry, they're all going to link up in the bunker. I think because of what happened, the doors are not going to be able to open, and the Link and his crew are going to have to blow the doors open, right? Because that was their plan anyways. I think they're going to have to blow the doors open, and then we'll see what happens after that, if they're able to save the bunker or everybody gets out. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. So I can't wait for that. But Brian, tell the people where they can find you one last time.
1/3 of Spoiler Kings go live Monday, Thursdays, and Saturday nights. But on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings, I'm with this man.
100%. And now I'm getting messages already. When we doing Daredevil? We doing Daredevil, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to figure out what the hell we're doing with Daredevil just now.
Do a round
But
table for Daredevil.
yeah. Probably. We'll see. We'll see what day it is happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what day. But we're definitely going to be doing something for that too. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that show. But Tamika, tell the people where they can find you one last time.
Yes, I'm over here on YouTube. Been enjoying getting together and talking Paradise on Tuesdays. I'm gonna miss it this season. We only got one episode. It went by fast.
I
I'm
know.
not ready. It's like I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, but then I don't want it to end at the same time. And usually I go live on Wednesdays, like I mentioned earlier. Coming up, April is a lot of shows going down, so it's probably gonna be like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see. From I'll be on a panel for that and for the Testaments, the Boys, and I feel like Euphoria and probably something else. So we'll see. So just keep your notifications on. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I think I need like 30 more people to get to 3,000. So help a sister
Oh,
out, okay?
nice.
Do it.
Yes,
God, come on, let's do
absolutely.
this.
Absolutely. Let's get Tamika to 3,000 subs. That's great. I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. I appreciate everybody that came in here and enjoyed the show. Of course, Tamika's. I don't think I have it in the description, but I'll put her channel in the description box for you guys so you can sign up to her channel and help her get to the 3,000 subs. But other than that, peace, love, and hair grease, and we see you on the next one. Peace, everybody.